Hi guys, so today I'm going to go through for our flexibility and mobility session this evening. I'm going to go through my very own, sound like it's amazing, it's just very basic, my own squat mobility session that I kind of do maybe 3 times a week just to make sure that I'm maintaining the current level of mobility I already have. I definitely recommend chucking this in after your workouts as opposed to before, because when it comes to flexibility and mobility, what we don't want to do is change our range of motion before a session, because what you'll notice is a massive decrease in strength and power. So do it after your session, maybe in the morning before you wake up or before you go to bed. That's probably the best time for you to do it. So firstly, what we're going to do is get those hips, or take those hips through some internal and external rotations. So what you want to do, bring those knees to about shoulder width and stick those feet out. To be honest, you've kind of just got to work it out for yourselves where you're going to place those feet. And you're going to pop those hands behind you, if you can see, like so, and you're just going to rotate over, trying to get that knee down towards the floor. I'm going to shuffle them in ever so slightly. Don't worry if you can't get all the way down to the floor, sometimes I can't. It just depends on how stiff you are and what your mobility is like. And notice how I'm keeping both my hands on the floor. We're just going to do 10 of these. That's 3. I'm feeling very, very stiff today. Typically I can get my knee on the floor, but today I'm finding it really, really tough. And the reason why is because I squat yesterday and everything's just feeling a little bit sore, so I'm going to take it really, really easy. That's 6. That's 7. That's 8. Going to bring my feet a little bit wider. That's 9. And that's 10. Perfect. So, if you want, go through that again if you need to. I'm not going to bother. I think I'm feeling somewhat looser through those hips. But from now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into this 90-90-90 position. If I come from this side, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. So notice how I've got a 90-degree angle at the front, or my front knee. 90-degree angle at the hip. Try and really make sure that you get this hip angle. I see a lot of people come in like this. Make sure you've got that 90-degree angle at the hip, and then that 90-degree angle at the knee. So if I come up like this, it looks something like that. What we're going to do, we're going to make sure that we come over, so I'm tilting my pelvis towards my front leg. From here, I'm going to put my left hand on my right foot. I'm going to bring my right hand out in line with my right foot. And all I'm going to do, deep breath in, I'm going to push my knee down towards the floor, and I'm going to come down. And then I'm going to relax, and I'm going to hold. Then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to push my knee into the floor, and I'm going to come down. And I'm going to do the same. Push my knee into the floor, and come down. So it's a little bit of PNF here. I'm just going to hold. So, we're going to hold this one for 30 seconds. Then we're going to swap over. Let's go. And I forgot to mention, this is obviously going to be a follow along, so you can just chuck me on, listen to me in the background, and follow the exercises I am doing. And I'll try and do like a mixture of follow-alongs and just demonstrations with the WOD. I'll probably mainly do those for the WODs, and the more complicated things like the stretches and flexibility and mobility. Excellent, change the size. Perfect. Bring this a little bit closer, there you go. So, back into that position, making sure pelvis comes over. Hand on either side, we're just leaning over, drive that knee into the floor, contract the glute, and then come down a little bit further. Make sure to get that 90-90-90 position. Really try and stretch out that glute. 30 seconds starting now. Yeah, so like I was saying, we're going to try and do a mixture of follow-alongs, demos, tutorials and things like that on here, just so that you guys don't get too bored. Yeah, just keep an eye on the YouTube channel, try and subscribe if you feel like it, because hopefully we'll keep this up and keep content going out, maybe 4 times daily. Yeah, excellent, perfect. So there's that one done. Excellent. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my feet in together, I'm going to bring my chest up, and I'm going to lean over my feet. So we've done this one before, nice and easy, one of my favourite ones. Excellent, so 30 seconds. And if you want to really try and change the range of motion, really try and improve that flexibility and mobility, definitely hold for a minute or more, and that will really help. Awesome, perfect. That one was nice and quick. So, next one we're going to do, we've been through this one before, but what you'll need is either something to hold on to or you can just use the floor. So we're going to come into our squat position and come as deep as we can. From here, what I'm going to do, because I've gotten used to holding on to something and pulling myself forward, I'm actually going to work on bringing myself down towards the floor. And then from there, I'm going to get into extension. So I'm going to work on coming down, driving my knees over my toes, then coming into extension to help me to get deeper into that squat position and just help me feel more comfortable in my regular squat position. If you can't do that, hold on to something. I've got something here, and all you're going to do is come down into that squat position. You're going to lean back, and you're going to come into extension, so chest up, and then pull yourself into that object and try and drive those knees over those toes and keeping those heels on the floor. So I'm just going to do 5 of those. Feel free to do 10, but I'm just going to work on coming down. So I'm getting a really good stretch through my hips, and then I'm going to come up into extension. Down, into extension. This one's tough. I'm getting a really good stretch through those ankles. Everything's opening up. Perfect. So I'm just going to relax just for a second. But yeah, so do 5 to 10 of those, however many you fancy, until you feel quite loose. But I'm feeling really good after that one. But yeah, so our next one, we're just going to do, or our next 2 exercises, we're going to focus on strengthening some of the more intricate muscles within our legs, so like our hip flexors. And yeah, so this one we've done before. You guys are going to do 5, I'm just going to do the 1, because I did these yesterday. My hip flexors are especially sore. So you're going to bring that knee up, you're going to come out slightly, and you're going to drive that knee as high as you can for 5 seconds, really trying to flex that hip flexor and strengthen it. You might find that they'll get quite sore tomorrow. Just stretch them out slightly, make sure you're moving, you're walking, and you'll feel fine the day after. So yeah, driving that knee up 5 seconds, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax for 5 seconds, and then go again. And opposite leg, 1, 2, 4, 5. Excellent, so very simple. All that's going to do is help you feel more comfortable in that bottom squat position and allow you to flex at the hip a little bit more. And honest, this exercise was like massive for my squat. It made me feel so much better sitting down in that bottom position. And yeah, so another exercise that really helps is this one. So back into that 90-90 position, what you're going to do, raise that back leg off the floor, driving that heel up as high as you can for 5 seconds, and then relaxing. You're going to do 5 of those, and once you've done 5, you can come onto the other side, and you're going to raise it off the floor. Notice how this one didn't come up as high, so obviously this side is a little bit stiffer. And if you get cramping, keep driving that heel up. It will really help trying to alleviate that cramp. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but trust me, drive that heel up as high as you can, keep working against it until that cramp kind of goes away. And yeah, so that's basically the entirety of the flexibility and mobility session. That's basically a shortened version of what I'd kind of do after my squats, maybe like 3 days a week or so. But yeah, incorporate it into your routine. See how much your mobility improves, how deep your squat is. Maybe take 2 pictures of your squat before and after. And yeah, I shall see you guys in the next one.